everyone, for some more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney! And we are going to be beginning the trial of Mr. Will Powers, who is an actor who is being accused of murdering his co-star Jackhammer while filming a scene for the show Steel Samurai. So without further ado, hopefully you guys are having an awesome Sunday. Let's go ahead and see if we can launch a successful defense in the behalf of Will Powers. October 18th, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom Number 4. Oh, there's Edgeworth. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. Prosecution will show the court that at 2:30 p.m. on October 15th, the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Hammer in Studio 1 of Global Studios. It is impossible for anyone else to have committed this heinous crime. The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact. I see. Very well, I would like to move on to some testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness. Very well, I call most familiar face, Detective Gumshoe, to the stand. Detective, if you would briefly describe this case to the court? Yes, sir. I'll explain with the guide map here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studios, see? This here is the employee area. The actors did a run-through of their action scenes during the morning here. This is the main gate to the studios. The security lady that works at the studios was here at 1 p.m. on that day. Past the security station, there's a gate, see? Past that are the studios. And here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder, where the body was found. Now, on the day of the murder, October 15th, there were only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer, the defendant, Will Powers, and a young woman, the production assistant. All the production staff were in the employee area until noon. Then after lunch, the victim, Jack Hammer, went to Studio 1. Right after that, at 1 p.m., the security lady got to the guard station. Now, jump ahead to later that day, 5 p.m. The production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was cancelled. The time of death was 2:30 p.m. The samurai spear found lodged in the victim's chest was the murder weapon. That's the case in brief. Anyone like to hear that again? Should I listen to that whole thing again? Nah. I think I could probably remember that. So the murder weapon was a spear? How medieval. Samurai spear added to the court record. This spear was found stuck in the chest of the victim. Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that question is, what did the security lady at the guard station see? Understood. Let's call the security officer to the stand. Oh, jeez. Will the witness declare her name? ... Huh? My, aren't you a handsome fellow? I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered. Your name, please. Oh, dearie! No need for you to be embarrassed. Just call me Grandma. Your name, please! Seems Edgeworth has a bit of trouble getting his witnesses to say their names. Wendy Oldbag, dearie. So just call me Grandma. Shall we? Oh God, here she is rambling. Objection! I object to the witness's talkativeness. Objection sustained. The witness will refrain from rambling on the stand. I was just getting to the good part, dearie. Perhaps we can get to the testimony? No, the witness was stationed at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct? Yes, see, I was! And to get to the scene of the murder, someone would have to pass by you?
You know your stuff, dearie.
... You may begin your testimony. She sure is one hell of an old bag. Witness testimony. Witness's account.
On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest had been doing a run-through there since the morning. I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gate from then until 5 o'clock. Now, the murder happened at 2 p.m., right? 2:30 p.m., right? Interesting to me, because a certain man walked right by me at 2 p.m. It was Powers! That man right there! And he was heading towards the studio!
You saw the defendant then? Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination. Mr. Wright? Let's go ahead and save this. Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examination, witness's account. I'm not reading this again because doing her voice is killing my throat. Day of the murder. Hammer, I've been doing a run-through. Certain man walked by me at 2 p.m. It was Powers. That man right there is headed towards the studio. Actually, no, we're not saved yet.
Objection!
Let me get this straight, Oldbag. Miss... Miss Oldbag? You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? But you talk about the man in this photo, aren't you? Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. ... What is this exactly? None other than the Steel Samurai, defender of Neo Old Tokyo. Miss Oldbag, is this the Mr. Powers that you saw?
Of course! Did your mama teach you any sense, Sonny? Anyone can plainly see that's Powers, right?
No, they can't! ... Well, I mean, I wonder. True, Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai. But, that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai. ...
I know that! I wasn't born yesterday!
No one in this court is accusing you of that, Miss, Witness. He's having trouble calling the old bag, apparently. However, you do not have proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Will Powers, do you?
Humph. Now, is the old man? Of course I have proof!
What? Huh? Even Edgeworth is surprised? The prosecution would like to ask the witness. Please make known all the information in your possession ahead of time.
How was I to know everyone would be so nosy? You should be ashamed, all of you!
Well, you are in court, lady. You are expected to give any piece of information you might hold.
Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. He told me this isn't any good as evidence, pal. He didn't even give it a second look! ...
Wow, old Windbag has left even Edgeworth speechless. She's good! Let's hear about your proof, then. Witness testimony, the man in the photo.
I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning during the run through the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess.
Excuse me.
Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now, look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his leg. See? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy?
So we had sprained his ankle? Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Again, we'll go ahead and save, in case I screw up. Wait a minute. Let me do that again. There we go. Now I'm happy. She's got to be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals. And again, I'm not reading this again. Cross-examination, the man in the photo. Okay, never say anything on me, mind you. About the morning during the run through the action scene. I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. He broke a prop?
Sure did! His own samurai spear!
His samurai spear? The murder weapon?
Luckily, I was in it with my duct tape to fix it!
This strikes me as significant detail. I'd better write this down in the court record. Samurai spear updated in the court record. The murder weapon. A break in the shaft has been mended with duct tape.
Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad.
Was Mr. Powers' ankle badly sprained? Typo, though. It should be Powers', not Powers.
Not so bad they couldn't walk around. He went to his dressing room to rest up after lunch.
Thus the nap.
Anyway, I saw him dragging his foot when he walked.
Dragging his foot. Okay. You can see he's dragging his legs. See? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy? Well, Nick? Find any glaring contradictions? Well, she seems pretty sure that Powers... She seems pretty sure that that was Powers in that photo. I guess I'll just press her to see if I can shake her conviction. I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. Really?
Whippersnapper!
Hey, I haven't said anything yet.
I'll have you know, I'm not pointing fingers at anyone behind their backs. Everything I said is on the straight and narrow, the up and up. You today absolutely wanting about you to point fingers at...
And here she is mambling again. Mr. Wright, please for all our sakes try not to upset the witness. I think Edgeworth has met his match. That morning during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. He broke a prop? Sure did, his own samurai spear. His samurai spear, the murder weapon? Luckily I was there with my duct tape to fix it. This strikes me as a significant detail. Apparently he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Was Mr. Powers' ankle badly sprained? Not so bad that he couldn't walk around. That's the nap. Anyway, I saw him dragging his foot when he walked. Dragging his foot. Okay. You can see he's dragging his legs, see? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy? Well, Nick, find any glaring contradictions? Well, she seems pretty sure that was Powers in that photo. I guess I'll just press her and see if I can shake her conviction. Still, you can't look at this and say it's Mr. Powers.
Objection!
Yes, but only Mr. Powers would have been dragging his leg. He has a point. It does seem quite likely that it was Powers. There's gotta be more to this. I'd better keep pressing her. That's how I knew it was Powers. Okay, the reaction scene. I saw Powers trip and fall. Trip and fall?
Yes, and to think he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai! What a laugh! So Powers sprained his ankle. I helped make it better for him, of course.
You helped make it better?
I kissed it where it hurt.
Let's just skip over that part, so... yeah, that does sound kind of weird. Where was the assistant, then?
Oh, her? She was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle.
You may continue your testimony. Broke one of the props, it was a big mess. Broke a prop? Yeah, I already read all this. Apparently he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Think we've heard enough. Haven't we, Your Honor? Well, there is one thing that bothers me. Which is? Where is this Steel Samurai costume now? Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking, though. Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see the Steel Samurai, yes. Hey there, Eddie. And it's clear that the person in the Steel Samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers. I suppose that's right. Are you sure, Your Honor? I object. Hold it right there. We keep talking possibilities, but we have to agree that this photo shows the Steel Samurai. Nowhere in this photo can we see Mr. Will Powers. The defense has a point. I also wonder if someone else not caught on camera could have killed Mr. Hammer. We have to consider that possibility also. Then allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please?
No need to ask twice!
Oh my god, just get her off the stand ASAP. Witness's account continued.
The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true? The only person I saw go to the studio before that was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them.
So, if no one else went to the studio, then it would have to be the Steel Samurai who did it. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Seems like a good as any point to save. Okay. I'm not reading this again. Time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true? The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. Okay, let's present this and see what happens. Hold on! Look at this photograph one more time. This photo was taken by the camera at the gate for the studios, correct?
Yes, sirree, Sonny!
So, whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture.
And here I thought you didn't know you'd head from a hole in the ground.
Right. Anyway, it's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data.
Ooh, you know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we might have an opening.
That very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo are printed the words October 15th, 2 p.m. photo number 2.
Even I know that means it was taken at 2 p.m. on October the 15th. Really, Sonny?
Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says photo number 2. Ah, that's what I said in the last video.
Photo number 2?
The computer only held data for one photo on the day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo number 1 if it really was the only photo? Order! Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright. Actually, that's what I want to ask the witness. This evidence shows that not one, but 2 people went to the studio that day. Yet there's only data for one of the photos. Who could have erased the data from the other photo? Only someone with access. The security lady herself.
Hey? Me? You watch your mouth, whippersnapper! The only person I saw that day was Will Powers!
But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by.
Well, yes! That's what it seemed to mean!
Can the witness explain this to the court?
I don't understand these newfangled computer things. Edgy boy, help!
Huh? But believe me, I want to, but I don't know what this means either.
Some help you whippersnapper too! ... Whippersnapper?
Something the matter, Miss Oldbag?
Ah, that's right! I just remembered something!
Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate. Someone other than the Steel Samurai?
Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way.
Oh my god. I see. Your testimony, please. Oh dear god. Witness testimony, the other person.
Every day, after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see? Come to think of it, now that I remember throwing out one photo that day.
Miss Oldbag, this is the first I've heard of this.
Well, of course, Sonny. I only just remembered it.
Right, anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin the cross-examination. We're gonna go ahead and save this once again. Well, I'd say this was a turn for the unexpected. Well, actually...
Well, I'd say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this.
Yeah, I haven't been reading in Maya's voice this whole time. Okay, cross-examination, the other person. Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. Throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it, now that I remember throwing out one photo that day. Well, who the heck was in that photo you erased?
A fanboy!
For fanboy?
Steel Samurai fanboys! Little freaks if you ask me! They get information about rehearsals from gosh knows where. They're always hanging about. One was there that day.
Well, wait a second. Didn't you just say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Those were your words.
Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes into the employee area. The grate has been loose for a while. The things outside of, well, that's where they come in.
They come in through the drain?
I told you they were freaks. Oh,
And?
They're kids, children, whippersnappers.
Kids? So, on the photo that you erased?
It was a boy, probably 2nd or 3rd grade.
What? Order! Order! Let me get this straight. You saw 2 people pass by the gate on their way to the studios that day? One was a Steel Samurai dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be about 2nd or 3rd grade.
Oh yes, we'll see his type there every day. Can't stop him. Can't catch him.
A boy in 2nd or 3rd grade? I assume it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield a samurai spear? Impossible, I'd think. It's quite heavy. Excuse me.
Right! As I said, I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data. Nick? What's going on? I mean, the boy was there. That makes him a suspect.
Yeah, no, I'm already trying to unsuspect him. This court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. And no forgetting vital information this time. October 18th, 11:08 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3. Mr. Powers? Yeah, no. No, I read that wrong. Mr. Powers? Yes? Tell me straight, were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio? I didn't go to the studio, I was sleeping, honest.
So what was Steel Samurai in that security photo?
How should I know? Steel Samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really.
What? You should take better care of that stuff.
I couldn't imagine anyone would want to steal Steel Samurai costume. So, where does this leave me? It doesn't look good. Sniff. You're the only likely suspect right now.
Nick! What are we gonna do?
First, we play for more time. We'll start targeting someone else that could conceivably have done this.
Right! And it'll take them so long to shoot us down that we can get another day.
Right, but if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot. You don't sound very optimistic. I'm not optimistic at all, actually.
Hey Nick, it's time!
Okay, let's go. What does that mean? Please don't sigh like that, Sniff. Well, it means I have to find a way to extend this trial. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on this matter? The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studios was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence. But there is still no one else that could have committed this crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your thoughts? Let's go ahead and save. The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed this crime. Order. Interesting. Let us hear you have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized. Right. Great. As if the stakes weren't high enough. So, who was this person other than Mr. Powers that could have committed murder? Well, I'm pinning my bet on the security lady. It was the security lady, Wendy Oldbag. Who? The Steel Samurai is dragging his leg in this picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about that morning's injury. Maybe because they had been watching the action scene run through. There was only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about that injury. The security lady, Oldbag.
What? Whippersnapper?
Order! Is this true, Oldbag?
Oldbag? That's Miss Oldbag to you!
Miss Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the Steel Samurai's costume. Then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder. But why would she go through the trouble wearing the Steel Samurai costume? Simple, Your Honor. She knew that camera at the gate would take her picture. She was in his costume. She could point the finger at Mr. Powers. I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright. Oh yeah, right here. Sherlock Holmes 2, baby! ... question mark? That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Doesn't he usually jump up with an objection and some new damning evidence? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter? ... The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time.
What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so you all think I did it? Is that it? Edgy boy, don't just sit there. Do something.
What's my move? Maybe now's my chance to take this the whole way. Press further to give Granny a break. Hell no, I'm not giving a break, I'm pressing further. The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Miss Oldbag's actions on that day.
But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer?
You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive too. Indeed. That did it. Now Windbag is one of the suspects. No hurt feelings, I hope.
Wait just a minute! What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy! The one whose photo I erased!
He's only a grade schooler though, as you said, 7th or 3rd grade, was it?
That doesn't matter! When I was that age, I could paint my old man in 10 seconds tops!
Your thoughts, Mr. Wright? Let's go ahead and save one more time. That boy is not the killer.
What? How can you be so sure? Or is it be nice to the kids and mean to your elders day? Whippersnapper?
I have proof.
Proof?
Indeed? And let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows the boy could not have committed this murder? Heck yeah.
Take that!
The scene of the murder, as we all know, was Studio 1. However, you need a card key to enter Studio 1. How could a boy with no formal relation to the studios have a card key? I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this? Oof. The Windbag's speechless. This has got to be a first. Very well. This court will suspend proceedings on the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about the witness, Miss Wendy... what was her name? Something Oldbag, Your Honor. Then the prosecution will look further into this Oldbag before we continue. That is all. This court is adjourned.
Whoa, wait a second!
Oh no, what is it now?
I'm not gonna just sit here while you're barking up the wrong tree! Me! I'm talking! Oh great! Stop the presses! The Windbag wants to talk!
Miss Oldbag, what is this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony?
Actually, if you must know, there's something I was not told not to talk about.
Not to talk about? By whom? Huh? You mean it wasn't Edgeworth who told her not to talk? Well, testify. With this testimony, my lips were sealed.
Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studios on the day of that murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend they hadn't been in studios that day. But they ain't gonna accuse me. I'm not letting them get away scot-free.
That is interesting. Miss Oldbag, this is crucial information. Why did you keep this from the court until now?
Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap, and I always do what I'm told. ...
No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the Oldbag. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Let's go ahead and save one more time. We'll be ending this video once this trial comes to an end. Or at least, it looks like we're going to be going to another day, so... Cross-examination, my lips were sealed. Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder.
Hold it!
But who were these people?
Well, the director and the producer for starters.
The director? We should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their action scene without a director? Of course.
Yes, well, I was surprised no one asked about it.
So, where were these people?
The director was in the employee area all morning, from the run-through, for the run-through. He joined the producer at lunchtime, and they had a meeting after that.
Where? Should be a question mark.
Oh, in a Studio 2 trailer.
It says Studio 2? There was a Studio 2?
Well, if you look at the guide map, Here it is! You go through the gate and all the way to the left. The path where the monkey's head was fallen over.
Well, Mr. Wright, would you like to continue the cross-examination? I think I've already asked my questions, but... Continue cross-examination or take a break? Let's take a break. Your Honor, we have learned there were others at Global Studios on the day in question. The director and the producer and some bigwigs were all present. Yet, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it is impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers. The court acknowledges the defense's point. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Miss Oldbag, and more information about these other people we have just been told of. ... I understand, Your Honor. This ends today's proceedings in the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. This court is adjourned. And we just bought ourselves another day, that way we can help clear Will Powers' name. October 18th, 1:04 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me.
Ah, really? It's nothing.
Grin.
Oh, what should I sniff?
We'll be going down to the studios to do some more investigating. We'll have to find out more about this director and producer. They'll be turning up in the next trial as witnesses for certain. So now's my chance to get material for the cross-examination.
So, Nick, have you figured out just who it was in that Steel Samurai costume? Could it really have been old Windbag?
What do you think, Mr. Powers? I don't think it was her, really.
Neither do I, Nick.
Yeah, I know. Look, I was just buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off Mr. Powers.
Poor old Windbag. I feel kind of sorry for her.
Well, she wasn't winning any points in there, with or without my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studios.
Wait, we'll be back to visit you soon.
Thanks, guys. Sniff. To be continued? And the next time I'll see you guys in this particular project will be on Tuesday, and we'll be doing more investigating. Hopefully we'll find some more clues, and that way we can get the acquittal of Mr. Will Powers. Hopefully in the next day of the trial. So hope you guys are looking forward to that. Thank you guys so much for watching this. Hope you guys are enjoying this series. I'll be seeing you guys again next time.